This is the speaking test for the International English Language Testing System conducted on 17th of May at Diyorbek's IELTS. The candidate is Baxtiyor Abduvahobov. Candidate number is 502577 and the examiner is Ulug Umidjonov. Examiner number is 003458. Good afternoon. I'm Ulug Umidjonov. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My name is Baxtiyor Abduvahobov.
And what should I call you?
You can just call me Baxtiyor.
Baxtiyor, can you tell me where you're from?
I was born and raised in Andijan, which is the smallest part of Uzbekistan.
Can I see your identification, please?
Sure.
Thank you. That's fine. Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's first talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
I currently study at high school. I'm a 10th grader. And yeah.
Do you study better in the morning or in the afternoon?
Actually, it depends. If I'm tired from my works at night, I might oversleep. So I might do my tasks.
What do you enjoy most about your studies?
I mostly derive pleasure from learning new things. What I mean by new things, not just things from the past, like not history, but astronomical things would be.
Is your course different to what you expected?
What do you mean by course?
Is your school different to what you expected?
It's different. First of all, in my childhood, I imagined school to be more interesting, but since I have joined school, it's very boring. Yeah.
Let's now talk about laughing. Do you often watch films or TV programs that you think are funny?
I do. My favorite one is Friends. I have been watching it for the past 2 weeks, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
When was the last time you laughed a lot?
It was when I was watching a movie. Actually, people in real life can make me laugh easily. So I think, yeah.
Is it important that you and your friends laugh at the same things?
It's not that important. It's important only when I make the joke, because I don't like when people don't laugh when I make a joke. So yeah.
And let's now talk about numbers. Which numbers are most important to you?
The importance level of numbers depends on how important stuff they carry. For example, they might be meaningful in terms of my grades at school.
Are you good at remembering numbers? For example, telephone numbers?
If they are my relatives' number, yeah, I do. I'm good at
Why?
remembering numbers because I'm using them a lot. And yeah.
Did you enjoy studying math when you were a child?
I didn't enjoy math at all throughout my life because calculating huge numbers is a big bummer for me.
And do you think you'll have to use numbers in your future work?
If I'm taking a job that actually includes mathematics a lot, I might do that. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Now I'm going to give you a topic and I would like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, we'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand? Here's some paper and a pencil. And here is your topic. Please don't write anything on the booklet. I would like you to describe a time when you were in a very crowded place. All right. Now remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I will tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Sure. Actually, I'm always in a crowded place. For example, my school, my learning center, and the last time when I was in a crowded place was a learning center. It was a learning center, and people were chanting and shouting at each other. And there is this administration, and people who are kind of stupid are yelling at them. And so, yeah, it's very difficult for an administrator or operator to discuss something or to deal with something, especially to deal with parents. So, as I said, it was a learning center, and it is located in a city where outside is filled with car horns and honks. and it's very bustling. One parent came with her child, and she was crying a lot, impatiently, and I tried to reduce the noise level by a bit, by giving her a toy, by giving her child a toy, and the child immediately stopped crying. But I find it quite peaceful when I'm at home, because it's located in the outskirts of the city. If it's that noisy, I might just wear my AirPods, which actually stops the noise. So yeah, I think okay. And in the future, I might be living in a village or something if I have the chance, because I don't like noise, and it might lead me to a disease like hearing diseases. Yeah.
And do you often go to crowded places?
Usually, yes, I do. As I said, my school is very noisy.
Okay, thank you. Can I please have the paper and pencil back? We've been talking about a time when you were in a very crowded place, and I'd like to discuss with you one or two more general questions related to this. Let's consider, first of all, crowded places in general. Which places are often crowded in Uzbekistan?
In Uzbekistan, shops are very crowded, because especially in Tashkent, there are not many big shops, so people go only to one or two, the biggest ones. So I think, yeah, they are filled with noise.
But why is it then some people like going to these crowded places?
Again, it depends. If someone likes noise, not noise, but loud music, they might go to karaoke or a bar. Yeah. So they get adrenaline, I guess.
Yeah, so it depends on their personality then?
Yeah, and personal.
And do you think people behave differently when they're in a crowded place?
If there is someone that who don't like noise, they might they might feel discomfort, I would say. If someone likes loud music, they might be enjoying and dancing and happy.
Let's now talk about overcrowding in cities. So why has the number of people in many cities grown dramatically?
It depends on the economic side of the country. If there is no urbanization a lot in the country, this one particular city might be crowded with people who come from villages and who buy cars and build and do a lot of construction.
So they're attracted to the urbanization, did you say?
Not attracted to the urbanization, but attracted to the place, the opportunities the place offers, the city offers.
Right. And do you think the cities will be too crowded to have green spaces in the future?
Again, it depends on the officials of the government. If they are planning to increase the green spaces, the lush, for example, Tashkent is.
But don't you think the influx of these newcomers will
increase?
Will leave no space for these green areas. What do you think about that?
If there is enough greenery in the villages, and they might only focus on the construction of buildings, which doesn't serve as a green space. Yeah.
Right. So more residential areas.
Yeah, residential.
Okay. And are there any strategies that you think should be taken to reduce overcrowding in cities?
To solve and to reduce crowding levels in cities, the government may take taxes into account, like imposing taxes when there is the cut down of trees in the city. Yeah, taxes and fines might be helpful.
How does it directly affect overcrowding?
Overcrowding?
Yeah, like, do you think there will be fewer people if there's more taxes?
I wouldn't say taxes directly influence the number of people. who come to the city. I guess to improve the quality of life, to the standards of life in villages might help, because they might feel like in a city even if they are living in a village.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. This is the end of the speaking test.
Thank you.
This particular candidate is going to score a band 7 across all 4 aspects of the band descriptors, and a closer look at the band descriptors will reveal why and how. So let's take a look at fluency first. So the candidate, as you have noticed in the video, has been able to readily produce long turns without noticeable effort. What that means is that he was able to speak for a long time without much pause. Yes, there were some hesitations, but they were often mid-sentence. That's true. And that's basically the description of band 7, right? The candidate is going to have a hard time accessing language. So what it means is that they're going to struggle to think of what word to use next and what grammatical structure to use next. But the key idea here is that unlike band 6, this is not going to affect the coherence. Coherence in the way a person speaks is whether they make sense. So the candidate was able to get their message across despite these hesitations, even though they were hesitating in the middle of their sentences here and there to access appropriate language. And the candidate was able to use connective, cohesive features throughout. So that's all for fluency. And if we take a look at lexical resource, the candidate was able to indicate some less common idiomatic items in their speaking, but there were some mistakes, which again is indicative of band 7 in the band descriptors. And we could take a look at some of the mistakes that the candidate made. For example, the candidate said, calculating huge numbers is a big bummer. While some of the phrases here, huge numbers or calculating, that might sound natural, or the candidate tried to use this less common expression of bummer. It was used in an inappropriate way. So it should normally be used when something is a problem or something did not quite work out. But you cannot say calculating numbers is a huge bummer. It was maybe supposed to be something like, it was not a big deal, or calculating huge numbers is a big deal for me. That's probably more natural. And in terms of paraphrase, yes, the candidate did paraphrase the questions in part 3 specifically. But again, what really makes it different from band 6 in lexical resource would be the usage of less common items, as the candidate was able to use those phrases quite flexibly. And looking at grammar, a similar situation can be seen. So the candidate can speak quite readily. Like if you've noticed throughout the speaking exam, he used complex grammar, using where, which to give extra information. And that's what band 7 candidates can do. They can use simple and complex sentences effectively. Yes, there are going to be some basic errors. Let's take a look at one of the mistakes. So Baxtiyor, the candidate, said, if I'm taking a job, that includes, he said, that includes, which is obviously a mistake. It should be that includes, subject-verb agreement. And another mistake was, it is located in a city where outside is filled with people. No, it should be, if it's located in a city, which is filled with, something like that, right? And such mistakes are not necessarily going to take away from the band 7, but it's again indicative of band 7. These few errors exist even though the structures are quite advanced. And in terms of pronunciation, which is where it gets a little tricky, because even the band descriptors are not particularly clear on that. So we're going to be using band 6 and band 8. At band 8, the candidate can demonstrate rhythm and intonation. Yes, there are sometimes lapses, these mistakes and errors, right? But can be understood throughout. And in terms of individual words, right? At band 6, the candidate is going to make individual word mistakes. For example, Baxtiyor said building. It's not building, it's building. Or country. It's not country, country. So these mistakes are not going to reduce the clarity of the answers, though. They can still be understood. This is why pronunciation would also be band 7. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.